Chosen one, stop for a moment and listen. Not because something is wrong, but because timing is sacred right now. This isn't fear speaking to you. It's precision. It's heaven leaning close before the noise of tomorrow begins. You didn't wander into this message. You were guided here, positioned carefully, deliberately, because once the day breaks, certain decisions will solidify, paths will narrow, and momentum will quietly take shape. God is speaking now because alignment must come before movement. You've been carrying more than you let on. Questions you never voiced, fatigue you spiritualized, battles you survived in silence while still showing up for everyone else. And chosen one, before we go deeper, pause for a moment, hit subscribe, like, and comment, Amen, if your spirit is already responding. Because this message is about to speak directly to you, not generally, not randomly, but personally, as a confirmation you were meant to receive. There has been a tension in the air you couldn't explain, a sense that something is close, but unclear. Like standing at the edge of dawn, where light and shadow overlap and everything feels fragile but full of promise. God knows you've been trying to discern His voice through confusion, through emotional static, through pressure that didn't come with clarity. And He wants you to know this. The confusion was not your failure. It was a sign you were close to a turning point. Chosen one, heaven has been investigating your path. Every intention, every delay, every almost decision. God has watched the way you kept choosing integrity when shortcuts were available, the way you kept believing even when certainty disappeared. That's why this moment matters. This message is not random encouragement. It's divine calibration, a final alignment before the next phase unfolds. You may feel like you're standing between versions of yourself, who you were and who you're becoming, between what made sense before and what no longer fits. That discomfort is not loss, it's transition. God speaks before transition so you don't misinterpret urgency as panic. What's ahead requires awareness, not anxiety. So breathe. Let the stillness settle. Let the words land. This message comes before tomorrow morning because tomorrow carries weight. Choices will feel subtle but permanent. God wants you awake, not rushed. Grounded, not reactive. Prepared, not pressured. Chosen one, this is protection in disguise. And in just a moment, a hidden truth is about to rise into the light. One that will change how you move forward from here. Chosen one, this moment matters more than you realize. If you feel a sudden pull to stop, to pause, to listen more closely than usual, that is not random emotion or passing intuition. That interruption is intentional. God often steps into the middle of our routine, not to disrupt us, but to protect us. He interrupts before we overlook something crucial, before momentum carries us past an instruction that could change everything. Routine has a way of numbing discernment. Days blur together, habits take over. We move on autopilot, assuming tomorrow will look like today. And that's exactly why God interrupts ordinary moments. He speaks in the middle of schedules, not just in sacred spaces. He pauses your steps because something ahead requires awareness, not speed. Have you noticed how your spirit suddenly felt alert, even though nothing outward changed? That alertness is not anxiety. It's attention being awakened. Chosen one, God knows how easily purpose can be missed when life feels familiar. He knows how warnings can be ignored when they don't arrive with noise or drama. So He gently interrupts. A thought that won't leave, a delay you didn't plan, a hesitation you can't explain. These are not obstacles. They are signals. Heaven tapping your shoulder before you walk past something important. Think about this carefully. When was the last time God interrupted you right before something shifted? Before a decision, before a conversation, before a commitment? Often, His interruptions come when you're about to move forward without full clarity, not because you're disobedient, but because you're human. God slows you down because what's next requires precision, not assumption. This is why the interruption feels urgent but calm. There is no panic in God's voice. There is focus. There is intention. He's not trying to scare you. He's trying to align you. He's saying, don't rush this. Don't treat this like every other day. Something here matters. Can you feel the difference between pressure and presence? Between fear and instruction? Chosen one, missing an interruption can mean missing protection, but honoring it opens understanding. When you pause, you give God space to clarify. When you listen, you allow wisdom to surface. This is how disasters are avoided quietly. This is how wrong turns are prevented without drama. God interrupts before damage, not after regret. Ask yourself honestly, what has God been asking you to slow down around? Where have you felt an unexplainable check in your spirit? Who or what suddenly feels like it requires more discernment than before? These questions are not meant to confuse you. They are meant to sharpen you. This interruption is proof that God is involved in your details, not distant from your life. He's close enough to redirect, attentive enough to warn, and loving enough to pause you before you move too far. That alone should bring peace, so don't brush this off. Don't rush past this moment. Let the interruption do its work, because when God interrupts your routine, it's not to delay your destiny, it's to protect it. Chosen one, stay still for a moment. Listen closely. The instruction that follows this pause will matter more than you expect. Chosen one, feel the gravity of this moment, because tomorrow holds weight. Not the kind that presses you down in fear, but the kind that signals importance. Tomorrow is not just another page on the calendar. It is a hinge day, a moment where small choices quietly open doors that stay open, or close paths that cannot be revisited the same way again. Heaven is alert because consequence is near. Not consequence as punishment, but consequence as impact. You may sense it already, a subtle seriousness in the air, a feeling that something matters more than usual. Even if you can't fully explain why. That awareness is not imagination, it's discernment awakening. God allows us to feel the weight of certain days so we don't treat them casually. When tomorrow carries consequence, preparation becomes mercy. Chosen one, your decisions tomorrow will echo longer than you expect. Words spoken, silence chosen, commitments made, reactions given. Even what you ignore has power. God sees how one choice can redirect months, even years. And that's why this message arrived ahead of time. He prepares before pressure so wisdom can lead instead of impulse. Think about it honestly. How many times in the past did you wish you had paused longer before deciding? How many outcomes trace back to one unguarded moment? One rushed yes, one delayed no? God remembers those moments too. Not to shame you, but to spare you from repeating them. Tomorrow is significant because alignment will matter more than speed. This doesn't mean tomorrow is dangerous. It means tomorrow is formative. Clay is soft before it hardens. Wet cement holds shape before it sets. God is speaking now because tomorrow is still pliable. You still have the grace to enter it awake, intentional, and anchored. Wouldn't you rather step into a meaningful day with clarity instead of reacting on instinct? Notice how God isn't telling you exactly what to do yet. He's telling you how to be. Calm, alert, discerned, grounded. When posture is right, direction becomes clear. Panic clouds judgment, but peace sharpens it. That's why God prepares your heart before he reveals details. Ask yourself, chosen one, what choice has been weighing on you lately? What conversation feels overdue? What direction feels close but not settled? Tomorrow may not force an answer, but it may reveal one. And how you respond will shape more than the moment itself. This message is not meant to overwhelm you. It's meant to steady you. God is not rushing you into action. He's anchoring you in awareness. He wants you to move through tomorrow awake, not anxious. Intentional, not impulsive. Led, not pressured. So tonight, slow your thoughts. Guard your spirit. Pray not just for answers, but for clarity. Tomorrow carries weight because it carries opportunity. The kind that responds best to wisdom and restraint. Chosen one, step into tomorrow prepared, not afraid. The weight you feel is not burden, it's significance, and you are being trusted to carry it well. Chosen one, slow your breath for a moment and lean into this space, because what you're about to do needs reconsideration. Not because you're wrong, not because you failed to hear God, but because timing, direction, and protection matter more than urgency. This is not judgment hovering over you. This is correction wrapping itself around you like a steady hand on your shoulder, gently saying, "Hold on, not yet." You may feel the pressure to move, to decide, to act, to finally cross a line you've been standing near for a while. And that pressure feels convincing, doesn't it? It sounds like logic. It feels like courage. It even feels like faith. But chosen one, not every bold step is a safe one, and not every open door is meant to be entered without guidance. God is interrupting your momentum because he sees what you cannot yet see. This pause is not a denial. It is an inspection. Heaven is asking you to look again, to pray again, to feel again. There is a detail you haven't fully considered, a layer you haven't fully discerned. And God, in his mercy, refuses to let you rush into something that could cost you peace later. Have you noticed how the excitement suddenly mixed with hesitation? How confidence began sharing space with unease? That tension is not weakness. It is discernment waking up. Chosen one, God's correction always sounds like care. He doesn't shout in accusation. He whispers in protection. "Don't move yet" is not a command to freeze in fear, but an invitation to align in wisdom. When God delays a step, it's because the ground ahead hasn't fully settled. Something is still shifting. Something unseen is still being adjusted on your behalf. Ask yourself honestly, are you moving because it's time or because you're tired of waiting? Are you stepping forward because God spoke clearly or because silence became uncomfortable? These questions are not meant to condemn you. They are meant to center you. God would rather slow you down now than rescue you later from a decision made too quickly. Understand this, chosen one. Guidance is safety. Direction is covering. When you move without God's clarity, you move without his full protection. And he loves you too much to let you do that unnoticed. That's why this message reached you before the step was taken. Not after the damage, not during the fallout, but before. So breathe, pause, reconsider, not with anxiety, but with trust. Ask God to illuminate what you may be overlooking. Ask him to confirm what is truly aligned and what only appears urgent. You are not behind. You are not missing out. You are being guarded. And when the moment is right, when peace replaces pressure, when clarity replaces confusion, you will move again, stronger, safer, led. Chosen one, the pause you're in right now is not resistance. It is divine protection preparing you for what comes next. Chosen one, there is a reason everything has not been revealed yet. And before your mind tries to fill in the gaps, before your heart rushes to conclusions, I want you to understand this gently and deeply. What you cannot see right now is not being hidden to harm you. It is being withheld to protect you. God does not reveal in fragments to confuse his people. He reveals in stages to preserve them. You may feel like you're standing in partial light, enough clarity to know something is happening, but not enough detail to feel fully secure. That space can feel uncomfortable, even unsettling. But chosen one, that space is intentional. God is guarding you from acting too soon, from responding emotionally, from making a move based on incomplete understanding. If you had the full picture too early, you might rush ahead without the wisdom that comes from waiting. Think about this for a moment. How many times in your life did you later thank God for what he didn't tell you at the time? How often did clarity arrive only after patience had done its work? Delay is not denial, it is sequencing. Heaven never reveals step 5 before step 2 is anchored in your spirit. Why? Because information without readiness can become a burden instead of a blessing. Right now, God sees angles you cannot yet perceive, conversations you haven't heard, motives you haven't discerned, outcomes that haven't fully formed. And because he sees it all, he is asking you to stay still long enough for truth to rise to the surface. This is not about control, it's about care. He knows that acting too soon, even with good intentions, could lead you into unnecessary confusion or regret. Have you noticed how something keeps stopping you from moving forward, even when you feel almost ready? That resistance is not spiritual opposition. It is divine restraint. God often protects his chosen ones not by pushing them forward, but by holding them back until wisdom catches up with desire. What feels like silence is actually supervision. Chosen one, faith does not demand full visibility. Faith trusts the one who sees fully. You are not meant to force clarity. You are meant to remain aligned. When the moment is right, revelation will not arrive in pieces. It will arrive in peace. Everything will click. The hesitation will lift. The confusion will dissolve. And you will move, not from pressure, but from assurance. So ask yourself honestly, can you trust God even when the picture isn't complete? Can you rest in the pause without trying to solve what hasn't been revealed yet? This waiting is not wasted. It is preparing you to receive the truth without fear and to act without regret. Chosen one, what you need to know will be shown. At the right time, in the right way, with the right protection around it. Until then, remain still, remain faithful, and remain open. Because when God finally reveals the full picture, you'll understand why he asked you to wait. Chosen one, there is a quiet truth moving beneath this moment, and it needs to be spoken gently but clearly. What you choose to listen to today determines the peace you will walk in tomorrow. God is not speaking now to pressure you. He is speaking now to preserve you. Obedience in this season is not heavy, not restrictive, not meant to steal your freedom. It is a shield being placed around your mind, your heart, and your future before the day ahead unfolds. Right now, you may feel an inner nudge, a subtle urging to slow down, reconsider, or respond differently than you originally planned. That nudge is not anxiety, it is awareness. When God asks you to listen before acting, he is saving you from emotional exhaustion later. He knows how easily tomorrow's choices can spiral into unnecessary stress when they are made without his covering. And because he loves you, he speaks early. So many people believe obedience is about sacrifice alone, but chosen one, obedience is also about rest. It is choosing alignment over chaos. It is choosing clarity over confusion. When you listen now, you spare yourself the weight of regret later, the kind that keeps people awake at night, replaying moments they wish they could undo. God does not want that for you. That is why his voice arrives before the moment of decision, not after the consequences unfold. Think about it honestly. How many storms in your past could have been avoided if you had listened to that first quiet warning? How much emotional energy could have been saved? God remembers those moments, and he is ensuring this one ends differently. This is not about fear of tomorrow. It's about preparation for it. Obedience now is peace prepaid. As you lean into this instruction, something powerful begins to happen. Your spirit settles. Your thoughts slow. The urgency to force outcomes fades. And in its place comes a calm confidence. The kind that doesn't need to rush, prove, or defend itself. That calm is confirmation. It is God's way of saying, you're safe when you listen to me. Chosen one, peace does not magically appear after chaos. Peace is built through wisdom before chaos has a chance to enter. When you heed God's voice today, tomorrow loses its power to overwhelm you. Decisions become clearer, reactions become gentler, outcomes become steadier. You move through the day not bracing for impact, but walking in assurance. So ask yourself this: what is God asking you to hear right now that could change how tomorrow feels? What if listening today is the very thing that protects your joy, your clarity, and your direction tomorrow? This moment matters more than you realize. Chosen one, obedience is not a burden you carry. It is a shield that carries you. Listen now, align now, rest now. And when tomorrow comes, you will feel it. Peace, not regret, will greet you. Chosen one, let this settle gently into your spirit. A warning from God is never a threat. It is an invitation into safety. The very fact that you are hearing this now is not coincidence, and it is not random. God does not interrupt everyone. He does not whisper to every soul before the turning points. He warns the ones he is actively guarding, and that alone tells you something powerful about who you are to him. Many people assume that divine warnings are signs of danger or failure, but in truth, they are signs of closeness. God only cautions what he is committed to protect. If he were distant, silent, or disengaged, there would be no warning at all. Silence is distance. Correction, guidance, and alertness are evidence of involvement. So if your spirit feels stirred right now, not afraid, but alert, that is favor awakening, not fear rising. Think about it. When a shepherd sees danger approaching, he doesn't shout at the entire field. He calls to the sheep that belong to him. He steps in front of the threat before it reaches them. That is what this moment is. God is stepping ahead of you, scanning what you cannot yet see and saying, pause, adjust, trust me here. How many times in your life has hindsight revealed that a delay, a discomfort, or a warning actually saved you? This warning is not meant to make you anxious. It's meant to make you aware. Awareness is protection. It sharpens discernment. It quiets impulsive reactions. It reminds you that you are not navigating life alone. God's hand is closer than you think, guiding steps you haven't even taken yet. And chosen one, that kind of attention is not given casually. It is reserved. You are being watched, not monitored in suspicion, but observed in love. Guided, not controlled, but directed with intention. Protected, not because you are weak, but because your assignment matters. There are paths you are meant to walk that require preservation, clarity, and timing. And God ensures those things by speaking before harm has a chance to arrive. Ask yourself this gently. What does it say about your calling that God would warn you now? What does it reveal about your future that heaven is intervening early? This is not fear-based spirituality. This is relational protection. This is God saying, you matter too much to let you walk unaware. Chosen one, don't misinterpret this moment. You are not being restricted. You are being covered. You are not being corrected because you failed. You are being guided because you are trusted. Favor often looks like interruption before it looks like breakthrough. And wisdom learns to recognize love even when it arrives as a warning. So receive this with gratitude, not tension. Let peace replace pressure. Let confidence replace doubt. God is near. His eyes are on you. His voice is reaching you. And if he is warning you now, it's because what he's protecting in you and for you is precious. This is not fear. This is favor. Chosen one, pause, listen, and align tonight. Tomorrow will be easier, safer, and clearer because you chose to hear God before it was too late.